Hi guys, I'm Malachi, and we just got done answering the question of why do we make disciples. So now we're going to move on to the second question, which is who do you reach? Who do you reach with the gospel or God's story? So the way we're going to answer that question is we're going to show you a simple tool called the Personal Network Map. And the way you start that is you're just going to put your name in the middle, and my name happens to be Malachi. And then you're just gonna think of some people in your life who are far from God. I have a buddy named Mason, who I love to surf with. He's far from God. And then I have a brother named Isaiah, and he's far from God. And then I have a classmate named Rachel, who's far from God. And then I have a neighbor named Nick. And then I also have a buddy at the skate shop that I work with, and his name is Roy, and he's really far from God. I encourage you right now to just pause the video and just ask God for some names of people in your life who are far from God, and just write them down just as I did, and just do that now. Alright guys, so in John 17, it talks about how Jesus is praying for his disciples, and specifically in verse 20, it talks about how he's not only praying for his disciples, but he's praying for his disciples' disciples. So we want to, as believers, pray like Jesus. We're not only going to pray for these people in our life who are far from God, but we're also praying for the people in their life who are far from God. For example, with my buddy Mason, he has a friend named Ryan. He's far from God. And Ryan works at the gym. And there's definitely some people at the gym who are far from God. And my buddy Mason also has a sister named Maya. And Maya has a best friend named Faith, who's far from God. And then Faith has a boyfriend who's far from God. And then Mason also has a repair guy named Steve, who's far from God. And then Steve has a mom who's really far from God. So you can see what I did here with one name and how much it multiplied. So you're gonna take that and just apply it to all these names and just think of as many relationships of people who are far from God in their lives. And I just encourage you to pause the video and do that now. Alright guys, so what we just showed you just now is called a prayer strategy, and that's what you just mapped out. We just want to encourage you to talk to God about these people so that they can be open to his story. And also, as you start to talk to God about these people, there's going to be opportunities to share his story with them. And you're also going to notice there's going to be more people that come into your life who are far from God that you want to add to this map. So yeah, that's it. That's the second question, who to reach. We've answered it. So now we're going to move on to the next question of what do you say?